Hello, my dear students. We have an introduction to English literature course. Today we deal with 20th century drama. George Bernard Shaw was born in Ireland, but spent most of his time or adult time in England. An important aim of his many plays was to face audiences with completely new points of view and ways of looking at themselves and the society they lived in. He enjoyed the shock and the offense this often produced, particularly when his ideas were expressed with much wit. He delighted in saying and showing the opposite of what his audience expected. Arms and the Man, 1898, for example, presents as a sympathetic figure, a soldier who doesn't want to fight. And The Devil's Disciple in 1901, the man whom a conventional society has thought of as evil and selfish, is willing to sacrifice himself for others, while the minister of religion disappears or discovers that he should have been a soldier. Several of Shaw's plays show in various ways the workings of his theory of the life force, the power that drives people to value life as a great gift and fight for a better world, and that leads women in particular to want to have children so that life can be continued in them. The main character in Man and Superman, 1903, which shows the workings of his theory, most clearly says that a woman's real aim in life is to find the man that nature tells her is the right father for her children. Pygmalion, 1912, is particularly well known because it was the basis for the musical play and film My Fair Lady. In this story of the professor who takes a flower seller from the London streets and makes her into a grand lady. It is behavior and not ways of talking that really shows the differences between the characters. A second area of concern in 20th century English drama is that of the individual's search for identity in an unfriendly outside world. The individual search, the difficulty and fear of communicating with other individuals. A famous example of this is the work of Samuel Beckett, who was born in Ireland, but he spent most of his time in life in France and has written many of his works in French before translating them into English. As a young man, he was a friend of James Joyce, and like him, is fascinated by words, but unlike James Joyce, sees language as building a wall between human beings, which stops them communicating. His play Waiting for Godot, 1954, is one of the most influential works in English written in this century. It takes away the surface detail from the situation. It presents and shows the real nature in the world. In the words of one critic, it deserves the essence of, or it describes the essence of the human condition. The plays of Harold Pinter also has a central theme, the impossibility of communication between characters in a closed situation, although in his early plays, the closed situation is often a room whose comfort and safety is compared with the dangers of the world and the strangers outside. The Birthday Party, 1957, presents the closed, comfortable situation of a small lodging house and the effect of the arrival of two mysterious strangers who have come to collect one of the people living there. The feeling of danger is made stronger both by the suggestion of violence and the fact that the reason why the strangers have come to collect him is never fully explained. The Caretaker, 1960, also presents a close situation: two brothers in a house, and the arrival of a stranger, an old tramp. But in this case, it is the stranger who is the victim. The suspicions increase as the uncertainty grows, and the relationships between the characters change. But in spite of some touches of humor, it is the sense of emptiness of the characters' lives that is probably the strongest impression left by the play.